Hi, my name is Kyle Power, and this is my presentation for History and Theory of Public Administration. I am going to give a presentation on private and public organizations, the similarities and the differences that they have, and relate that to my employer, which is the Los Angeles County Fire Department. Some of the similarities that I found, one was expressed by Graham Allison in his article relating Luther Gulick's POSCorp, which is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting, as all functions of managers that would take place in a manager's position in a private sector as well as a public sector organization. Another theory that had similarities was expressed by Paul Appleby, that lower bracket jobs have more similarities in the private and public sectors. However, they kind of start to change and trend farther apart as people in those lower ranks start promoting through into a higher role within an organization, whether it be a public or private employer. I relate this a little bit to the lowest rank of the lifeguard division, which is the Ocean Lifeguard Recurrent. The recurrent lifeguard is a seasonal employee. They're also as needed and temporary. So they are hourly employees. They get very minimal benefits, if any. They get very limited representation by the union. They get a lot of very basic needs for their employment. So they're essentially, they clock in and they clock out, similar to that in a temporary assignment or employment with a private company. You're going to just be working the hours that you work with very limited benefits and just making a paycheck, more or less. Another similarity that I believe that private and public sectors have, or organizations have, is their branding and how they brand themselves. Obviously, private organizations or companies are branding themselves to remain competitive against competitors in their market. They want to get the most market share. They want to get the bottom line, which is revenue. And the public sector has a little bit of a difference in that we're specifically, the county fire department is ongoing in efforts to brand ourselves as competitive and being the best at we do, whether it be life-saving skills, EMS, or public education. Some of the differences, and I'm going to go back to the POSCorp example by Luther Gulick that was expressed by Graham Allison, and share just some of the differences within those manager responsibilities. The ones I found the differences in were in staffing, and staffing based in private sector may not have parameters of a leader to subordinate. However, in public sector employment, specifically LA County Fire Department, we have to maintain a span of control, which is one supervisor to every 3 subordinates, up to one supervisor to every 7 subordinates, which is a national standard based on the National Incident Management System standard. Also, the staffing based on merit, which goes back to the Pendleton Act, and I think with civil service laws, the public organizations has to have a very strict way in which they can hire people based, supposedly people that are should have a job, as well as in the public sector, there may be a little bit more flexibility with hiring people that a manager may want, regardless of that merit. Also, in reporting in the public sector, the LA County Lifeguard or Los Angeles County Fire Department's ongoing efforts in being transparent and reporting to the Board of Supervisors of Los Angeles County, the media, and to the public, and being very transparent on what is going on, what type of things we are doing, and we are doing the best we can to be proactive in communicating with the public and giving them the message that we want to uphold. In the private sector, the reporting goes to supervisors and then to possibly some shareholders where the information may be limited to just the shareholders and the employees within that private organization. Stuff doesn't actually need to get out unless it's something critical to the public. The other differences I see are the measuring of success in the private and public organizations. I think I spoke about a little bit, which was in private organizations, the measuring of success has to do with the means to an end, which in private sector is going to be the bottom line, which is revenue and money, and in the public sector, the means to an end, which goes back to Robert Merton's means to an end, is what, and this can be kind of a muddy question with a unclear answer, but I believe that the means to an end for a public organization such as Los Angeles County Fire Department is upholding the Los Angeles County Fire Department mission statement and increasing and upholding the positive public perception that we want to uphold with the community that we serve. Another employee different. This is more of an employee difference in the private versus public. Private organizations have disciplinary procedures and things that go on within their own company that they do not need to reveal to the public. In the public sector, we are constantly scrutinized on duty for things that may be happening, whether it be discipline or anything we communicate over correspondence with. That type of stuff can be viewed. Salaries can be viewed by anybody in the public, so there's a lot of transparency there. With disciplinary procedures, the Los Angeles County Fire Department also upholds an off-duty conduct, which is a very strict policy that requires all county employees off duty to uphold the same type of behavior that you would on duty. And what this means is, for example, if I were to be off duty and I have a Facebook account and I like a picture or a cartoon and it is something that may be offensive to somebody, and under my employment section on my Facebook account or my social media, I say that I am employed by Los Angeles County Fire Department, I've now created this work nexus by representing myself as a county employee and possibly compromising the integrity of the department by liking something that may be offensive on Facebook or posting a photo of myself that might be offensive or questionable on Facebook, or even someone else tagging me in a photo that I didn't even mean for anyone to see. So the public organization is definitely a lot more scrutinized for that type of behavior. So those are kind of the differences of the public and private sectors of organizations. I think overall, with the differences that you have with public and private, I think private organizations have a bit more flexibility to kind of find ways to be a little bit more efficient and maybe quicker to act and make quick changes in their business operations to become competitive, to become profitable. And in the public sector, there are more constraints for managers, specifically the board of supervisors that are directing them and leading a large organization of subordinates to go along with the direction the department's going can be challenging. When unions are involved, specifically during policy implementation, can slow down the process quite a bit and call for quite a bit of negotiation between the union and managers within the department. And these are my references, and that is my presentation. I'm sorry I went long again, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.